Every second of every day, your heart is working relentlessly to keep you alive. Right now, as you're watching this video, it's pumping blood through 60,000 miles of blood vessels, enough to circle the Earth twice. But what if this incredible organ is struggling? What if it's desperately trying to tell you that something is wrong? Most people picture heart problems as something obvious: dramatic chest clutching, sudden collapses, or sharp stabbing pain like we see in movies. But here's the terrifying truth. Heart damage often starts silently. No warning, no big dramatic signs. Just subtle distress signals your body is sending you right now. By the time the classic symptoms appear, it may be too late. That's why today's video is so important. We're about to uncover 9 bizarre, overlooked warning signs that your heart could be in danger. These aren't the typical warning signs. They're the hidden clues your body gives you long before a heart attack or stroke happens. Before we begin, this video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. If you experience any of these symptoms, please consult your doctor immediately. Let's begin. Number 1. Skin rashes or unusual spots. Your skin is the body's largest organ, and sometimes it can act as a mirror reflecting what's happening inside. Persistent rashes, red patches, or sudden skin changes aren't always just cosmetic issues. They might be an early warning sign of inflammation inside your arteries. When inflammation becomes chronic, it damages the inner lining of blood vessels, making them more prone to plaque buildup. This is especially true for conditions like psoriasis, which has been directly linked to cardiovascular disease. Some people notice a bluish tint to their skin or nails, especially in cold weather or during physical activity. This happens when tissues aren't receiving enough oxygen-rich blood, which could be due to circulation issues or underlying heart problems. Others develop unusual spots, tender nodules, or a lacy pattern of purplish lines on the skin, potential signs of blood vessel inflammation. Spider veins or broken blood vessels might seem like a minor issue, but if they appear suddenly or in unusual patterns, they could indicate increased pressure in your circulatory system. Sometimes they point to deeper circulation problems caused by heart valve issues or blood flow obstruction. If you've noticed unusual skin changes that don't go away, your heart might be sending you a warning. Number 2. Calf pain and swelling. If your calves ache or swell when walking, you might blame aging, dehydration, or lack of exercise. But what if it's something far worse? This could be a sign of peripheral artery disease, a condition where arteries in your legs become blocked by plaque buildup, reducing blood flow. The pain typically feels like cramping, tightness, or burning in the calves, especially during activity. It often improves with rest, but as the condition worsens, even short walks can trigger discomfort. Some people describe it as a heavy, aching feeling, while others notice numbness or a tingling sensation. Swelling in the lower legs and feet is another potential warning sign. If you notice that your shoes feel tighter by the end of the day, or that pressing a finger into your ankle leaves an indentation, your body could be struggling to pump blood efficiently. Peripheral artery disease is more than just a leg problem. It's a sign that atherosclerosis, or plaque buildup, is happening throughout your body, including in the arteries that supply blood to your heart. If your legs are showing signs of circulation issues, your heart might be at risk as well. Number 3. Digestive distress, nausea, indigestion, or feeling full too quickly. That uncomfortable, bloated feeling after a small meal might not be caused by something you ate. It could be your heart struggling to function properly. Many people, especially women, experience heart problems as digestive discomfort rather than the classic chest pain. When your heart isn't pumping efficiently, blood flow to the digestive system can be compromised. This can lead to symptoms like nausea, upper abdominal pain, and an unusual sensation of fullness after eating very little. The symptoms might worsen during physical activity when the heart is under stress and improve with rest. Women in particular need to pay attention to these warning signs. Research has shown that during heart attacks, women are more likely than men to experience nausea and indigestion instead of chest pain. This can lead to dangerous delays in seeking treatment, as these symptoms are often mistaken for acid reflux or stomach issues. If you frequently experience digestive discomfort, especially alongside other symptoms like fatigue or shortness of breath, don't ignore it. Your heart could be trying to tell you something. Number 4. Bleeding gums and gum disease. Most people don't realize just how connected oral health is to heart health. Bleeding gums, chronic bad breath, or gum tenderness might seem like minor annoyances, but they could be early indicators of serious cardiovascular issues. Every time your gums bleed while brushing or flossing, bacteria from your mouth enter the bloodstream. These bacteria can travel to the arteries, triggering inflammation and contributing to plaque buildup. In fact, studies have found the same bacteria from gum infections inside arterial plaque, strengthening the link between gum disease and heart disease. People with periodontal disease are 2 to 3 times more likely to experience a serious cardiovascular event, such as a heart attack or stroke. Poor circulation due to heart problems can also worsen gum disease, creating a dangerous cycle of declining health. If your gums bleed often, or if you have persistent bad breath despite good oral hygiene, take it seriously. It could be more than just an oral health problem. It could be a warning sign from your heart. Number 5. Snoring or sleep apnea. If you or your partner have noticed loud snoring or periods where you stop breathing during sleep, it could be a sign of undiagnosed sleep apnea. This condition causes your breathing to repeatedly stop and start during sleep, sometimes hundreds of times a night. Each time this happens, oxygen levels drop, forcing your heart to work harder to compensate. Over time, this strain increases blood pressure, contributes to irregular heart rhythms, and significantly raises the risk of heart failure. The symptoms don't stop when morning comes. People with sleep apnea often experience extreme fatigue, morning headaches, and difficulty concentrating. Many don't realize they have it, assuming their tiredness is due to stress or aging. If you wake up gasping for air, or if you feel exhausted despite getting a full night's sleep, consider getting evaluated. Treating sleep apnea could be a life-saving decision for your heart. Number 6. Sudden weakness or extreme fatigue. Everyone feels tired sometimes, but sudden, overwhelming weakness is something entirely different. If you find yourself struggling to lift everyday objects, feeling shaky, or unable to climb a single flight of stairs without exhaustion, your heart may not be pumping efficiently. When the heart struggles to circulate oxygen-rich blood, the muscles don't get the energy they need. This can lead to sudden weakness that doesn't improve with rest. Some people notice that they drop things more often, have trouble with balance, or feel unusually unsteady on their feet. This isn't normal fatigue. If you feel persistently weak and drained, your heart could be struggling to keep up. Imagine reaching for your coffee cup in the morning and finding that it feels unusually heavy, or walking up a short flight of stairs and feeling like you've just run a marathon. This isn't normal exhaustion. It's your heart struggling to pump enough oxygen-rich blood to your muscles and brain. Without enough oxygen, even simple movements can feel draining. Unlike regular tiredness that improves with rest, heart-related fatigue is different. It can strike suddenly and persist even after a full night's sleep. Some people report feeling weak in specific areas, like their arms or legs, while others describe a general sense of exhaustion that doesn't go away. One reason for this is poor circulation. When the heart isn't working efficiently, it struggles to supply the body with the nutrients and oxygen it needs to function properly. Over time, this can make even routine activities feel like monumental tasks. Another major warning sign is when your fatigue worsens during activity, but improves with rest. This is often a red flag that the heart is under strain and unable to meet the body's increased oxygen demand. If you find yourself suddenly struggling with tasks that used to feel effortless, Don't brush it off as just getting older or being out of shape. Extreme persistent fatigue could be a signal that your heart is not working as efficiently as it should. Number 7. Persistent cough that won't go away. A cough is usually associated with something mild, like a cold, allergies, or seasonal changes. But if your cough lingers for weeks or gets worse over time, it could be a sign that your heart is struggling to pump blood effectively. When the heart isn't functioning properly, fluid can start to build up in the lungs, creating something called a cardiac cough. Unlike a normal cough, this type often produces a frothy mucus that may be white or pink tinged due to blood leaking into the lungs. Another clue that your cough may be heart-related is if it worsens when lying down but improves when you sit upright. This happens because excess fluid shifts more easily into the lungs when the body is horizontal, making breathing more difficult at night. Many people with underlying heart issues find themselves needing to sleep with multiple pillows or in a reclined position, just to avoid waking up gasping for air. In more severe cases, this persistent cough can be linked to congestive heart failure, a condition where the heart becomes too weak to pump blood effectively. As a result, fluid backs up in the lungs, causing a cycle of breathlessness and coughing that only gets worse over time. If you or someone you know has a lingering cough that doesn't seem to have an obvious cause, especially if it gets worse when lying down, it's critical to get it checked. It might not be just a respiratory issue. It could be a warning that the heart is struggling. Number 8. Excessive sweating for no reason. Breaking into a cold, clammy sweat when you're not exerting yourself is a serious red flag. While sweating is a normal part of regulating body temperature, excessive sweating, especially sudden, unexplained sweating, could be a sign that your heart is under immense stress. This type of sweating is different from what you experience during exercise or hot weather. People often describe it as a cold, sticky sweat that comes on suddenly and without warning. It may be concentrated around the chest, neck, and face, and in some cases, it can be so severe that it soaks through clothing. During a heart attack, the body releases a surge of stress hormones like adrenaline, triggering this kind of sweating as part of the fight-or-flight response. Some people experience this symptom hours or even days before a cardiac event, making it one of the most critical early warning signs to recognize. If sweating is accompanied by nausea, dizziness, shortness of breath, or chest discomfort, even mild discomfort, it's a serious warning that the heart might be in distress. In women, this symptom is especially important to recognize, as studies have shown that women experiencing heart attacks often report sweating and nausea without the crushing chest pain that men typically describe. If you're suddenly drenched in sweat with no clear reason, pay attention to what your body is telling you. It could be signaling an urgent heart issue. Number 9. Fainting or dizziness. Losing consciousness is always a frightening experience, but when it happens suddenly and without an obvious cause, it's often a major red flag for heart problems. Fainting, also known as syncope, occurs when there's a sudden drop in blood flow to the brain. This can be caused by irregular heart rhythms, known as arrhythmias, which disrupt the normal circulation of oxygen-rich blood. Some people report feeling lightheaded, experiencing tunnel vision, or having a ringing sensation in their ears just before fainting. Others may describe a sense of impending doom or overwhelming dizziness right before they collapse. The circumstances surrounding the fainting episode can provide important clues about its cause. If fainting occurs during physical exertion, such as exercise or even mild activity, it could indicate a serious issue with the heart's ability to pump blood efficiently. If it happens after standing up quickly, it could be a sign of low blood pressure or poor circulation. One of the most concerning aspects of heart-related fainting is that it can sometimes be the first and only warning sign before a life-threatening cardiac event. Some heart conditions, such as hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or severe arrhythmias don't always present obvious symptoms until a sudden fainting episode occurs. Even if the episode is brief and the person regains consciousness quickly, fainting should never be ignored. It's the body's way of signaling that something is interfering with normal blood flow to the brain. And in many cases, the heart is at the center of the problem. If you or someone you know has experienced unexplained fainting, dizziness, or blackouts, it's crucial to seek medical evaluation immediately. The next episode could be far more dangerous. By now, you've learned about 9 bizarre but crucial warning signs that your heart might be in trouble. Some of these symptoms may seem minor or easy to ignore, but they can serve as early distress signals before a more serious heart condition develops. Recognizing these subtle warning signs can mean the difference between catching a problem early or facing a life-threatening cardiac event later. Your body is incredibly intelligent. It will always try to warn you when something isn't right. If you've experienced any of these symptoms, don't dismiss them. Schedule a checkup, talk to your doctor, and take control of your heart health before it's too late. If you found this information valuable, be sure to subscribe for more life-saving health tips. And check out our next video, where we'll uncover even more hidden warning signs that could help you stay ahead of potential health risks.